Figure out what the strategy is with the ghost. Like, when's the best time to use them? So if you notice on the vertical stream here, those are the last 4 movies we've watched. Let me know if you guys have seen them, what your thoughts are. Was on a little 80s kick last week. Caught some movies that for some reason we've just never seen. So Adventures in Babysitting with Elizabeth Shue. And then actually Dirty Dancing. I'd say with Patrick Swayze and Dirty Dancing. And I love Patrick Swayze. My thing with him is he's kind of like Vince Vaughn in a sense that he's just always, it seems, Patrick Swayze in everything he does. Like Vince Vaughn is always just Vince Vaughn in every movie. That's not necessarily a knock, I'm just saying. But along the same lines of 50 Cent and Ice Cube too, right? Although I think that's more of a slap in the face to Patrick Swayze for me to compare him to those two. But Patrick Swayze could dance, for sure. And there was definite on-screen chemistry between him and... Shoot, what is her name? What was the co-star's name in Dirty Dancing? I did read that they hated each other going into the movie. They had been in a movie prior and did not get along and had to make amends of sorts to get the movie done. But their on-screen chemistry was really good. And then Adventures in Babysitting, that was a fun 80s movie. Nothing more. I mean, I don't know if I would ever see it again or have the need to, but I liked it. I could see myself maybe watching it at some point. But you know, that and Dirty Dancing for me, I was like, I'm glad I at least got to see the movie once. Finally got to see The Brutalist, which I didn't get it. I didn't care for it. I didn't like it. No desire to see that one again. So therefore, in my rating system, by the way, a movie that I don't like and that I have no desire to see again, that is a 2-star movie. But I know critically acclaimed for the most part, right? Adrian Brody, was he nominated? There were a few of those. I assumed they were the sex scenes in The Brutalist. I mean, I was so bored, and then some things were going on screen. I'm like, what are they doing? And I'd look up from my phone and be like, I think I know what they're doing. And they weren't overt scenes, but I think you could totally tell what was going on. I thought those things were done well. But everything else on there, I was like, yeah, I'm just not. I was excited to watch it. It was on my list to do. I don't know what happened. I've been very much at odds with a lot of movies that I think people are saying are good, or they're... I don't know. It goes back to talking about I was one of the few that didn't like Dune. One of the few that did not like Sinners. One of the few of my type that didn't like Andor. Super excited for college football to start up this weekend. Mizzou got off to a good start on Thursday, beating Central Arkansas pretty handily. Bo Pabula's a legit quarterback for Mizzou. SEC did not have a great weekend by their standards, by their normal standards. Mizzou has a big game against Kansas this week, and I'm actually thinking about trying to figure out a way to get the Xbox hooked up here to play NCAA 26. Because at least for the week, I'm going to be all Mizzou KU, and I'm not going to be thinking about much else. So I think that'll be fun to do some NCAA games on the Xbox of just those two teams, which would be a slight departure of the Nintendo Switch 2 and Mario Kart World. Spent a few hours today recording our latest video. This one is for the TSP DIY page, or the channel, TSP DIY channel. Doing it on cleaning out your dryer vents, especially for people that have had issues with the dryer not drying their clothes all the way. And of course, the first thing you think about is, well, there's something wrong with my dryer. Is it time to get a new dryer? Do I have to take it apart and try to figure out what's going on? Have somebody come out and look at it? And most of the times with that situation where your clothes aren't getting totally dry, it's because you haven't cleaned out your dryer tube. The vent that leads to the outside. Rarely is that even thought of and getting cleaned out. And we've had the house for almost 25 years. And I've never done a real cleaning of it. I think I ran the blower through it one time, and that was kind of a superficial blowout. Not much really came out. And when you think about it, all the stuff that's in the dryer vent that's going into that tube, that's all kind of moist lint, hair, fabrics. And so that's not going to just blow out easily. And what that does is it settles into those tubes. And it kind of gets caked on there. And then over time, it's just layer after layer. And then once you start having some minor clogging issues, the dryer can't push out all that humid air. So you're getting some pushback with the humidity getting pushed back into the dryer. It's not able to leave it. So your clothes aren't getting dry. Well, luckily they make some really cheap dryer vent cleaning kits that are these extension poles that you can screw on to one another to make a 30-foot length or 50-foot, however long you need it. And they attach to your drill, and they've got a brush at the very end of it. So you use your drill to manipulate and spin it at a high speed, and then those poles that you put together, as you're putting it into the dryer tube and you're drawing it back out and your drill is spinning it at a high rate, it basically scrapes all that stuff off of your tubing. And then you go back and you blow it all out and a ton of stuff comes out. That's kind of the rewarding part of doing this kind of cleaning. So I filmed the whole thing today, which takes what should be an hour of DIY work. And it's basically been hours. Because every step you have to film. And that's not even counting the editing process. If you guys do your own like content and videos, you know that the editing process behind the scenes, it's like an iceberg. There's so much more that needs to be done when you edit. So I'll be working on that. I think I'm done for the day. I'll probably do more tomorrow. And then just plan on getting that long form video up midweek. Hey, Luffy, what's up? We'll keep it on the horizontal stream while Luffy's here. What's of note that is exciting or a bummer for you today? Those of you that were following me early on in the week, our kind of long-term project of ripping our Blu-rays, all the movies we have own. And it's been non-stop, really, popping in a DVD or a Blu-ray. ripping it off the disc and then converting it over to MPEG-4. I just do one right after another, then go off and do something. And then at night I have, you know, 2 or 3 kind of going. And in the morning I come down, check on it, put them into my Jellyfin server when they're done, and then start a whole nother group of them. I probably have close to, I think, 20 movies now on the server. I only own probably 30 DVD or 30 Blu-rays. Got about 1,000 DVDs, but I just never got into Blu-rays. We kind of quit getting physical media after a while. Now we were just kind of content with, you know, just doing the streaming stuff just out of convenience. But I am sold on, I mean, I think Blu-ray, just the standard high def and then upscale to 4K is plenty good. And especially for ripping and keeping on your own server and being able to watch movies and TV shows when you want to, without commercials, and at a very good quality. I think we're lucky to be in the situation we are, to where, yes, Blu-ray is an old technology, and really we're kind of past 4K right now, but that's the current. But you can get really good value with used Blu-ray. Anywhere from $1 to probably 10 on the higher side for certain kinds. But, you know, we go Blu-ray hunting, go to Salvation Army or any other kind of used bookstores or whatever. They're about $3, $4, $5 on average. Especially when you think about when DVDs or Blu-rays were in their prime and people buying them for $20, $30 to basically fill out your movie library now that's going to last for as long as you have your drives. For dollars, pennies on the dollar, really. Got done with the first season of Game of Thrones, ripping that, the Blu-ray set for that. So those 10 episodes, I think, took me about a little over a day and a half in total. And then we're just kind of rewatching Game of Thrones at night. So even though I ripped it to the server, we're watching on the disc. And upscaled to the, I guess we have an 82-inch 4K TV upstairs. Upscaled Blu-ray looks fantastic. And if you're watching a good show, you're watching a good movie, you're not sitting there, or at least I'm not, looking at, oh, the resolution. Look at the color grading. It's a good movie, a good TV show. You're not even paying. I mean, that doesn't come into play. You can get a little too carried away, a little too picky on the whole over critiquing how movies look. Blu-ray versions, 4K versions. Don't get me wrong, they matter. Bitrate matters. I get it. But in the end, you're there to enjoy the movie. currently in the hunt on this race here. Still looking for a first place finish ever. And usually my goal on all these races anyways is just to place. You know, first, second, third is fine. Second, third's fine. Have fun is fine. But it would be nice to just win one. And as I say that, I am awfully close. Oh, are you kidding me? I got hit at the finish line. Stumble forward. That's my first win. That's my first place finish. How cool was that? I got hit right at the end, and I thought that's how I was gonna go out, that they were all gonna fly past me. Somehow I was able to cross the line. That was pretty cool. What do you think, Luffy? Did you see that? I'm pretty excited. Luffy said I should clip it. I'll have to remember. I know there should be like a button I could clip on here. I'll have to, I don't know. Shit. I can't multitask. I need a full-time producer when I'm doing this, but that was crazy. I thought I saw the finish line coming up and I was like, are you kidding me? I'm still in first. And then sure enough, I get hit with the shell right at the line. And I just knew I was gonna lose. Hey, remember we were talking, Luffy, now that you're here again, there's a South Korean zombie movie. And I don't think I mentioned the name of it. Train to Busan. I am so in love with that movie, recommended it to so many people that are movie fans. I actually, right after we talked about it, the last time you were on, I actually went and looked for the Blu-ray version of it to order it. I overpaid a bit, but I found a 4K Blu-ray combo set, which is kind of the best of both worlds, because I can rip it and then I can actually have a 4K copy for the library here too. So I actually paid for it and it's on its way. So when we were talking the other day, I was like, you know what? I should probably get a handle and get a physical copy of that. Yeah, Train to Busan. 2016, that's probably about when it came out. I was late to getting on to watching it. But I ordered that and Lost in Translation. Which, Lost in Translation is one of my 5-star movies. Remember when I was talking about my movie rating system? And I can only have 10 5-star movies in my Letterboxd rating system. And then if I come up with like an 11th film that I want to rate as 5-star, I have to remove one of my old ones. So that just shows you how hard it is to become a 5-star in my list. But Lost in Translation is a 5-star movie in my list. Yeah, you can't sleep on the Korean and Japanese films. Or the shows, the entertainment they do. When we had Netflix, look, I am not ashamed to say, I mean, I will watch some trashy TV or whatever. But the Koreans had some great dating shows on Netflix that I got into. They're just so well produced. And then the Japanese had some really good ones too. There was one for older people like myself. A little more mature, I would say. I think it was called Love Village. It was on Netflix. That was done really well. I can see why like younger people wouldn't care to watch it. I get it. I mean, there's no like sexy looking people fighting and pulling hair in bikinis and stuff. It's just, it's older people. But I love that series. But I was late to the whole Studio Ghibli anime stuff. So I made it a point in the last year to try to do as many of the Studio Ghibli, if I'm saying that right, movies. And they're all just super cute, well done. Animation is just absolutely gorgeous and beautiful. I think the first one that I watched was, what's it, Grave of the Fireflies. And talk about that being your first one to kind of turn you on to the whole Studio Ghibli whole list of movies that they do. Once I saw that, I was like, I'm hooked. And so every once in a while, I find a new one to watch. Totoro was good. I'm trying to think of some of the other ones I saw. That Boy and the Heron. And on several of them, I had to go to YouTube to have people explain the movies to me. Like hidden meanings, things that I missed. I still enjoyed them on the first time watch or second time watch also. But having somebody that knows those movies inside and out, kind of explaining things or things that you need to look out for, gives me a whole new appreciation for those movies. And so it makes me want to go back and watch again. Kiki's Delivery Service, that's another one I just remembered. One of the more recent ones that I've seen. Oh, they have a theme park? And then I took a stab at I think it was a highly acclaimed anime from a few years ago. I was like, you know what? It wasn't Studio Ghibli, but I was like, let's check it out. And I think it was called something like Your Name. And I was like, I love that one too. I've seen that twice now. I actually bought it on streaming on Apple. But that's one to where I would absolutely buy. All the Studio Ghibli ones I would buy on physical media. And then the one called Your Name, I would totally get that. This is the second time we've been kicked off. But I don't have anybody in my real life that watches any of that I talk to. So after I watched it, I had nobody really to... This is before I started the channel here, the entertainment channel. So now I have you guys to talk to about all this stuff that we watch. Oh, currently in the background we are ripping Harry Potter. So This one's the Philosopher's Stone. Which has me wondering, am I going to be able to watch this? Because this is not the US release. Does anybody know, are Blu-rays region locked also? Well, I guess I'll find out. And does region locking apply when you rip them also? That's another thing I got to figure out. Haven't had an issue yet. Just realized I don't think I've been recording in the background, so I'm not going to get a clean copy of that first place finish. I need to remind myself to also do the recording as I'm streaming. That bullet bill came at the right time there. in the mix again. We're not racing as good, though. Nope. Did not do very good. Got to stretch. rough. Rough, rough, rough. Popping in the Chamber of Secrets in the background. Get that ripping while we're playing. What's up, Luffy? No, races have not gone good since I won, but maybe that's the trade-off to winning, right? You win one and then you struggle with everything else. I just wish I was recording it. I need to remember to record in the background. All right, one more race. Let's be competitive on this one. What are the rumors? What they're gonna do? You would think it's gotta be something big for the 40th. What's the next big game though that everybody's waiting on the Switch? So I know in general everybody's waiting on Grand Theft Auto coming out, but I guess that's not coming out on the Switch. Sonic Racing. I haven't done anything Sonic since probably the Genesis, late 90s, if that's scary. That's the last Sonic I had anything to do with. I never had the N64. I had a couple friends that did. But I know the people that had it, I mean, have some really good memories of it. Some really good games. Was that the one that Star Fox and GoldenEye was on? I think. of the 90s? I don't know. I mean, is the N64, was that bigger than PlayStation? Or Genesis, really? I don't know. That was my progression. So I went from the NES, late 80s. What did I have after that? It had to have been the Genesis, and then into the PlayStation, I think. All right, we're in the mix here for the end, for our last race. Oh man, I am not racing. This is not my best map at all. Oh, I misplayed that one. You know what? I think I could have gotten it. I thought I had a little bit more to go. I misplayed those. I could have gotten first on that one. Dang it. All right, I got to get some stuff done before I turn in for some sleep. Luffy, I hope you have a good morning coming up. And we'll catch you on, you know, maybe in a day or so. Hop in. So... take it easy.